Welcome! Reporting to you live from Zoom. You are listening to Chais and Chisme, a podcast brought to you by the world of Feriela.
I'm Jennifer, aka Fed, reporting live from the Pink Palace.
And I'm Daniela, aka Ella, reporting to you live from the Sirena Oasis. And I have a confession today. These are my confessions. The confession is that I just woke up. not that long ago. And you know what? I have a theory as well. Okay. So first off, I'm wearing a scarf. I don't have any makeup on. I got like a blanket. I have a cold. I've had a cold all week. I got nervous and I got tested just in case. It's just a cold. Thank God, but it's just a cold. And I slept in today because I guess I slept through my alarms, and then my physical alarm, which is my mother, love her, went out. So nobody was there to wake me up. And I just woke up in a panic. I woke up and I knew it was late, but I had no idea what time it was, right? And I know that I was having some really, really vivid dreams. But I can't remember them at all. But I know that, like when you dreamt something that you would have wanted to remember, or something that had something for you. That's how I've been feeling since I woke up. Like I keep trying to remember what I was dreaming, and all I know is that there was a lot happening. There was a lot of people, and that I was learning a lot of things. But I have a theory. So my theory is being a deep sleeper is a modern thing. Why? Because as we know, we have like alarm clocks and things like that, but that's modern technology. People didn't have that back in the day, but people were very much functional, going to work, like I'm assuming people didn't they weren't like lateness wasn't like a huge problem. And so I'm thinking that as we've gotten technology, we've evolved and become deep sleepers. Because back in the day, how did you know to wake up? Right? Like not everybody's got a rooster, I think, right?
Yes, actually, that makes perfect sense. When I knew you were going with that when you said it's a modern thing and like technology, I was like, you're right. Because if you ever noticed, at least for me, a lot of birds chirping and everything like that, and it's kind of like the morning sounds are probably what I assume used to wake people up back then, right? But if you got used to an alarm clock or that kind of technology, it's different. And I will agree with that because for me, maybe that's what makes me a morning person. And I'm a light sleeper too. I've never gotten into the habit of using an alarm. I very rarely depend on an alarm.
Really?
Yes, very rarely. My body just naturally wakes me up. There have been times where I need to be somewhere in an hour and my body wakes up an hour before. And I'm like, oh my God. And I freak out a little bit. It's not enough time. But they are, sometimes I will set an alarm for like, that kind of deal where I'm like, oh, okay, I'm afraid that I've scheduled this too early and da-da-da. So I will hit an alarm. But for my everyday life and everything, I don't set an alarm. My body naturally wakes me up. Also, light sleeper. The birds outside of my window wake me up, man. Those birds are loud. I don't know if anybody else feels it. Maybe if you guys are light sleepers, you might relate to that. But oh my goodness, I remember that not only at this, new location I'm at, but like my previous place, the birds were so loud. I was always like, oh my goodness, these birds are loud. I feel like they're inside of my house. And it might be a light sleeper thing because you hear them, like your hearing is so acute, I guess, maybe. Because for me, I like I said, I don't really rely on alarms and anything like that. I tried when I was a kid. I had a little Mickey Mouse alarm clock, and it was a gift someone gave me, and it made me like, oh my God, it's so cute. I'm gonna go to school with my little alarm. If anything, it used to get in the way because I used to wake up before it and be washing my face, brushing my teeth already, and that thing would be going off already in my room, and I was like, oh, I have to go back into my room and turn it off. So that's what I realized. I don't really do well with alarms. That makes sense. This theory makes perfect sense to me because I'm like, oh my God, that makes sense. I'm not used to alarms. So that's why whenever I do use one, it wakes me up, it like jolts me out of bed.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny because I'm the opposite. I am a deep sleeper. It is very difficult for sounds to be waking me up. Like I set at least 5 alarms, and I used to have like the most annoying loud rooster alarm because it was the only thing that worked, and I had to rotate alarms constantly because eventually my mind would be like, this is the background music of your dream. And so my alarms would be going off and I'd be fully dreaming, but I thought it was the background music. And I remember many times in my dreams hearing it and being like,
oh my goodness.
and being like, dun, 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 in my dream, until suddenly in my dream I go, wait, I know this sound. I think I'm supposed to be waking up. And then I'll wake up. And with all of that, I have to also confess that this is not a chai. This is a Theraflu, because your girl is getting off the cold. Honestly, it's been like a really mild cold. It hasn't really been so bad, but I've been homesick. There goes that thing that we talked about last episode.
Yes.
Homesick since Monday, and it's Friday, and I just have this awful cough. It's really not so bad, but this week I've had a lot of time to like reflect and think about how different the world treats being sick. Because in the past, as we all know, with the cold that I have right now, again, I feel totally fine, besides the fact that I started with like a bit of a sore throat, but I have a cough and I have a little bit of mucus buildup, and I'm a little bit stuffy, but not like, woe is me, I need to lay in bed. Like, no, I'm not tired. I'm not fatigued. I never developed a fever.
Discomfort.
Yeah, it's just mild discomfort. But in the past, an employer would have been like, come to work, or I would have gone to work because it's like, whatever, I feel fine. I just got a cough. But now it's like, you got a cough or you got stay home.
Yep.
So I've been home all week. I had to call out twice because I had work twice during this week and I wasn't able to go into work. I'm hoping that I'll be feeling better by tomorrow. I think I will be, but it's not a good look to go to work and be coughing like crazy, or need to run to the bathroom and spit up mucus, and the clientele will be like, what the hell is she doing here?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, no. So it's just funny to think about this. I've been bored at home. I like binged the show Manifest. If you haven't seen Manifest, you have to watch it. I've been preaching it nonstop. It's so good. I don't normally watch series because I get way too hooked and I do nothing else. I hyperfixate. And I thought it was a movie. I was half asleep on Monday, and I thought it was a movie. And then I realized 5 minutes in that it wasn't a movie, but it was too late because I was super hooked. So I finished the entire series, and they actually got canceled in June, but they were released on Netflix and they went #1 for weeks, and they're climbing again #1. So there's a lot of talk that they're actually bringing it back because it got so popular from Netflix. So that's another reason why I want you to watch it, because it's so good. It's so good. It's such a good show. But that's all I've been doing. I've just been home watching movies, like laying in bed, sitting in my papasan. I'm bored as hell. So that's why, if you're wondering, Danielle, why are you doing the podcast if you got a cough? Because I'm bored, man. I want to do something else. And I'm hoping today to go get some fresh air. Maybe that will help too, because I've just been cooped up in my house and in my room, and it's been super hot. And it's funny because today's topic is hot girl summer. And originally I had been planning to put on, I don't know, like a bikini or some hot girl summer outfit, but I got a cold, fam. So your girl's wearing a scarf and she's got a blanket.
So do I.
I can't be doing that. But I will say, you're looking hot girl summer. Look at those beautiful, for our listeners, she's got this really, really cute striped rainbow-esque t-shirt with these, I would call it like a peachy coral overalls on top. It's so fucking cute. I wish that was my outfit. I wish that, we had this joke during these last 2 weeks. But I don't want to reveal it, because what if somebody steals our idea? Okay, there's
exactly. No.
Pending patent. This is our idea right here. I was like, how cool would it be if we could actually make drag and click outside of the computer? Because I want to drag and click your outfit onto myself.
Copy paste onto yourself. Honestly, exactly. Yeah. We were talking about this. I remember it was kind of like, oh my God, can you imagine you just drag and click and duplicate things in real life? That would be so cool. But thank you. Yes, thank you for describing the color of these perfectly, because I actually thrifted these through Depop. I'm an avid Depop user. I thrifted them. They were cool. let me say this, they're thrifty, okay? Sometimes with thrifty things, you kind of got to work with them a little bit. So these are little short overalls. I'm not going to stand up because I'm cold, guys. But they're little shorts at the bottom and they're so cute. I loved, so when I saw the pictures online, I was like, okay, I looked like a darker pink, like a, no, I want to say mauve. Like think of a brown toned pink, but not so cool as like, mauve kind of has like a hint of like, at least to me, it has an undertone of like purpley, not like that. Like more of a warm mauve, pink, brown
Like a
kind of
teddy bear kind of pink.
like a teddy, yes, a teddy bear pink. And I thought, oh my god, yes, I want them. These are like a corduroy material, like a denim material actually, but they have a little softness to them. So I'm like, oh, I thought they'll be perfect. When I got here, they're this color, and I didn't know how to describe them because I'm like, this looks like orange but pink at the same time. It's a peachy pink corally kind of color. So yes, and then I now that I can think about, I mean, like, I guess with thrifting things is that when you, like I mentioned, you have to work with them, and you also have to be able to, like, I guess it looks better in my opinion when you pair it with pieces when in your closet. Now that I paired it with this, I saw this literally last second, like last minute. I thought to throw on this little like striped rainbowy top, and I realized, oh my god, it goes so well. The color of this matches the colors in here so well that I thought, oh my god, now I love it. I was having second thoughts, but like I mentioned, it's thrifted, so oh well, if I'm having second thoughts, can't really return it. But yeah, so essentially that was what I was doing. And what's interesting is you were talking about your like waking up in a panic, oh my goodness, like, kind of mentality of what's happening. If you guys ever wondered what our dynamic is like, this is exactly what it is. Like, Danny woke up all panicking and oh my goodness, what's happening? It's it's this time, I'm late and everything. Whereas meanwhile, on my side of things, imagine like a slow tempo elevator music. That's what was happening on my end. I woke up like earlier, and I remember that I thought, oh right, we're filming today. And I thought, oh well, Danny's sick, and I was like, I don't know if what's gonna happen. So I sent her a message. I never got an answer, so I thought, okay, I guess Danny's feeling sick, so I guess I'm just gonna chill and go about the rest of my day. So essentially that's what I was doing. I was chilling, and I was just thought, okay, you're sleeping, you must feel really sick. I thought, oh okay, but then I didn't hear. At one point I was like, okay, it's been a suspicious amount of time, and I'm not talking like 30 minutes, guys. It's been a suspicious amount of time.
It was a few hours. I woke up, full disclosure, I woke up at 1 p.m. Woke up at 1 p.m. This episode is absolutely going to be an hour because, girl, we started at 2 and your girls got therapy at 3.
Exactly.
Online. So I literally have it all set up already.
But yes, I it's been a couple of hours, and I thought, should I begin to worry if she's feeling that bad? And you mentioned that you're like, oh, nothing wakes you up, so there is no use in calling you. So I thought, I can't
because also my phone is always silent. Something to know about Danny. My phone is always on silent. Why? Because it's always in my hand. I don't go into any room without it. But it bites me in the ass whenever I lose my phone in my house, because it's always on silent. So people are like, oh, let me call it. And I'm like, there's literally no use. I have it on silent.
Yeah, like for me, I said it's I have mine on vibrate always. But point is, I remember I was like, oh my god, I don't know if you're okay. And I thought, okay, if one more hour passes, I just full disclosure, if one more hour had passed, I was going to message your brothers or something and be like, hey, is Danny okay? And just wondering, just because I was worried. I was like, what if you're that sick? What if you're that sick that you can't even, you have a fever, you don't even know where your phone is? What if the phone is dead? So this is what our dynamic is like. You guys wonder. I was chilling up until I wasn't. And then thank God you called me. And I thought, oh, okay, good. Okay, never mind. In this scenario made up in my brain of the fever isn't actually happening.
If I don't answer my phone, I'm asleep, I'm at work, I'm engaging in a conversation that somehow has my full attention. And when I say somehow, it's not to say that I don't like talking to people. It's I got ADHD, so I constantly have to stim
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a conversation. Otherwise, my mind will wander. And this like even happens with Bay. Like when we're on the phone, I will just be my stimming. I've noticed is that I'll scroll through Instagram and I'm not looking at anything, to be honest. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not. I'm just scrolling and it allows me to like really focus on the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So, but sometimes there are certain topics that I guess gauge my entire attention, and so I stop scrolling, or I decide a lot of the times when we talk on the phone, I will like do laundry or clean things. And so I won't be looking at my phone. Or the other thing is that I'm watching a movie that has totally grasped all of my attention. And there's no way you're going to get through to me until I look at my phone. But my phone will be right next to me, right next to me. But again, it's on silent because I don't like to
Yes.
be disturbed when I'm focusing on something.
That's interesting. For me, like I said, the only person that can get away with that, I am somebody who is chatty and does like, hold, I like to talk. Clearly, guys, you guys know this. I clearly love to talk. And so the only person who can get away with that it's really you. Like, I honestly, like, I do not like divided attention. Yes, guys, you've heard it here, right? If I'm ever out with somebody and we're having a conversation, we're out for food and they're on their phone, I am the person to be like, and do that. I
Oh,
am that
I'm not
person.
on the phone though when we're in person
Yeah, yeah.
because the visual stimulus always helps me out.
Yeah, but I do feel it with the scrolling and doing other things. Clearly, you guys are seeing this right now. I'm like always tapping things, and I'm always playing with things with my hands. That always takes care of it. And yes, if I'm somewhere, like let's say if I'm lazy, I'm just in bed while I'm talking on the phone with you, I will just scroll. I will also scroll, or I will find something to do. I want to get an app. Okay, this is for people who would help us out. I want to get an app that I can draw on my phone. I think that if I could draw and doodle, like what I used to do in class, that's what I used to do in class during lectures, is I'd sit there doodling. It would help me listen to doodle and draw circles and draw all these things. So it's for me, I feel the need to
Why
stim
don't you
when
get
people are
like a
talking.
doodle journal though? That would be kind of cool.
Like a physical one, I'm like, because I'm lazy, get out of bed. So I guess I have to keep it next to me because I'm lazy. Sometimes when we're talking on the phone, I'm also a person that goes to bed early. In case you guys wonder, no, I'm not also a night owl and also a morning. I don't know how people do that. How are people like that? How do people go to sleep at like past midnight and still wake up early? I have no idea how that happens. I'm not that person. I honestly, midnight is my cap. Midnight. That's it. Midnight for sure. Hardly ever drag it past midnight.
The only times it gets dragged past is if we're on the phone already.
Exactly. But if you, and also my brain turns off too. So if you need me to do something, don't ask me past midnight. I'm not here in this realm anymore. So essentially if I'm already in bed and I'm on my phone, I'm like, I don't want to get up and get stuff, but I want to like doodle sometimes. But actually it's a good idea. Maybe I might try the doodle pad before I try the app, because my phone screen is kind of tiny, because #old iPhones broke life. So I have an old iPhone, so it's like the screen is tiny. I want to have room to do stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, so today our topic is hot girl summer. And
Yes.
as y'all know, we are like, you guys are seeing this for us. This is the very end of July when we're recording this, but you guys are seeing this in August. Summer is blowing by us. It's almost over. And I've just been thinking a lot about the summer lately. Hot girl summer, summer bodies, things to do. I personally like the summer. And I feel like, I don't know, I think you probably have noticed this, and all of you have probably noticed this, that this summer, I feel like there's been a bigger push for body acceptance and body positivity, because obviously a lot of us, because of the pandemic, our weight has fluctuated, and that's totally okay. I absolutely gained weight during the pandemic, and I struggle with it sometimes, but at other times I'm like, it's normal. I wasn't doing the things that I was normally doing. I was very stressed out, very depressed. My body is just taking care of me. And you know what? My body is summer body ready because it's the summer. I got a body and I'm ready for the summer. So and my body is a beach body, because if you take your body to the beach, guess what? That's a body at the beach. That's a beach body.
Yes. Oh my, I love that actually. Because yes, speaking of the whole summer and body acceptance, I agree. And also I think in general, I don't want to be naive and say that the world is becoming more accepting. I don't want to say that. That's a naive statement. But I agree that I think what's happening is most people, like you mentioned, have been cooped up in their houses, have been like struggling with their mental health. Probably their weight has fluctuated and whatnot, went either direction. And you know what? I think we just want to exist without all like for me, and after being cooped up in the house, right? I would imagine that I just want to go outside and wear my cute summer outfits without having to be exhaustingly worried with my weights, my appearance, what I'm doing, etc. Right? Like I think that's so exhausting considering the year we just had. And I think people just want to exist. And maybe that's what's being the push that everybody's kind of just like, whatever. Like I'm enjoying summer as it's happening and everything. And also, I really appreciate that you said beach body, summer body. Let me tell you guys, one of the things that always sent me spiraling when I was in high school and I really fixated on my body image was when people used to say the words bikini body. I I used to feel so much pressure to wear something that I am not entirely comfortable in, something that I didn't feel flattered me. But this emphasis that you're supposed to be able to look good in a bikini, that if you don't go look good, it's a bikini body. So if your body looks bad in the bikini or you think then that's not a bikini body. That's not a real bikini body. I am so happy you said a summer body. You didn't say bikini, because bikini body is probably one of those triggering phrases that's in here forever, just bouncing around from the early 2000s, because there's so many articles that I saw when I was, a teenager of bikini body this, bikini body that, how to get your body in shape for a bikini. And it's kind of like,
But you know what? Um, I'm glad that you bring that up, but
mm,
we still are bikini body ready, because if your body's in a bikini, that's a bikini body. You don't need to
yeah.
lurk any. And I want to agree to disagree with you on the comment that you said about it's naive to think that people are more accepting. No, I disagree. I have been really paying attention a lot to like the plus size community, the mid-size community, normalized normal bodies,
Hmm.
and people, I can see that people are making a real effort to love their bodies, and it's not so much other people accepting but us
Yeah.
accepting ourselves. and
Yes.
and there's definitely way more acceptance in ourselves. I've been following a lot of accounts that are like, put on the bikini, who cares? If you like it, wear it. You got rolls, you got this, you got cellulite, you got stretch marks, who cares? If you want to wear it, wear it. It's a lot of an internal struggle, but with everyone fighting their internal struggle, we're coming together and it's creating this bigger force of people not caring as much. Obviously, beauty standards are so different from when we were kids to
Hmm.
today, but I think there's a I this is like one of my mantras, and it's love your body in all of its stages.
Hmm.
Do I struggle with that sometimes? Absolutely. Absolutely. I have body dysmorphia, and one day I will see my body one way, and the next day I will see a completely different body. And obviously, I've not transformed. It's just my body dysmorphia. But, um, but we have to love our body in all of its stages. So I have this new thing that I do that I've been talking to Bay about, which is every once in a while I'll go through my closet, and if things don't fit me, I get rid of them. I get rid of them. I don't wait to fit in them again,
No.
because who's to say that I'm going to? And even if I do, I'm only enabling that thought process that I have to lose weight. And I'm in this like place now where I'm working out for health and for strength, not to lose weight. If
Hmm.
I stay the same way but I'm stronger, then I need to be okay with that. Um, but yeah, no, I don't think it's naive to think that. I think it's hopeful. I'm a look at the glass half full kind of person.
I definitely, yeah, I agree with you on the part that you said self-acceptance, because I definitely feel that I've done a lot of work in this past year to try to really like accept myself and really, I joke with Daniel all the time. I'm always like, like I'm the, what is that I say? I'm the destroyer of fat phobia. I'm the
Yeah.
fat phobia warrior. I always say that because I am so quick to call out like, fat phobia now, and so quick to tell people that's fat phobic. That's da, da, da. I'm not trying to say that I'm out here being the saint. So I'm not over here trying to paint myself like some saint that y'all need to bow down to me. That's not that. But I will say I make that effort to recognize these things, because it is fat phobic, like mentalities and things that made me feel bad about myself growing up. And so when I try to recognize them and try to tell people, oh, that kind of behavior or that kind of way of thinking is fat phobic, you know, and it's not to hold, no, it's not out here to make anybody feel bad or nothing like that. It's essentially just to recognize and really reflect on the ways that what things that we say and who they could be harming, you
Yep.
know. But yes, with the whole, yeah, exactly, bikini body is one of them, because for me at least the way I meant, I think, well, the way I didn't explain it correctly, but the way I meant with the bikini body thing is, I don't know if it's just me, but I don't really feel comfortable in a bikini. Like outside of body, I just feel like it's a lot, you know, like I just feel like I'm like, oh, I just don't feel comfortable with
That's
all of
fine.
these parts of me showing. And I remember that, like, the bikini body thing, not only did it make me feel bad about my body, but it made me feel bad about that. It made me think that I needed to, that this was something that I needed to conform to, if you know, that you needed to not only look good in the bikini but wear the bikini in the first place. And it always made me be like, you know, and I always felt some kind of way about bikinis, bathing suits, all kind. I've always felt it's so layered. And so yes, I do appreciate the usage of the word summer bodies. You know, it doesn't imply what we must or must not wear or whatnot, and so it implies we can wear anything. You know, we talked about how I'm like summer like ready and everything. Yeah, it's a summer ready. What I didn't show you guys is that I have spooky socks on.
You have
I'm
spooky
I have
sauce.
spooky socks on, yeah. Because again, this is summer wear, right? This is I'm wearing my aesthetic right now. I'm wearing my cutesy stuff with my spooky stuff. That is my aesthetic. It's like spooky cute. But yeah, like, you know, there is no pressure. I do say like, oh, my summer outfits, because I have these outfits in my head that I would love to wear and everything. But I
Mhm.
think the majority of them would not be so like controversial. They're not like, I'm not here like, oh, I want to wear this that's only explicitly in summer. It's just shorts and stuff, guys.
Mhm.
And so I think that it's that thing too, is like you said, calling it a summer body, calling it a beach body. I like that because it takes away from like the emphasis or like the I guess the implication that you have to wear a certain something. And that always made me feel, I like that for that usage. But yes, another aspect of hot girl summer that I wanted to touch upon,
Okay.
okay, that is always talked about in like hot girl summer, is all right, so I know with the phrase hot girl summer, right, it's about like you know, going out there and enjoying, making the best out of your summer and hanging out with your friends and doing all of these things. But is there not a somewhat implication of a dating life in there?
Oh,
Right,
absolutely.
there is, right?
Absolutely. Hot girl summer. There is a huge, okay. This is what I love about the amounts of social media we have today. Social media is a double-edged sword. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's not so great, but sometimes there's also some great stuff. And what I've been seeing a lot on like TikTok is you can have a hot girl summer and be in a relationship. You can have a hot girl summer and not want to date. And you can also have a hot girl summer and date. And something I say all the time is ain't no shame in the whole game. As long as you are being safe and it's consensual, do you, do you, but you don't have to. You don't
Yeah,
have to. You don't have to go out and try to date like a bunch of people in the summer. Like hot girl
exactly.
summer is for everyone who wants to identify with it.
Yeah, and I agree. For me, guys, flip it around for me. It's ain't no shame in the asexual game, right? So if you are, I definitely always, I'm out here. I'm the destroyer of fat phobia, and I'm out here. I'm also the asexual advocate. So those are my two official title, guys. If you guys want to make me a little plaque or something I can put right here, that'd be great. I'll give you guys my address, not really, to send me to send me a little plaque that I can put both those titles right here. But point is, yes, I feel that there's an implication of hot girl summer. And the reason I started to think about it was because I don't remember who I was having a conversation with, but there was like a little joke where the person made and they said like, "Ooh, hot girl summer," and I remember I was like, "Ah, kinda," and then I realized, why did you say that? Why did you? Why? And I realized, oh my God, why do I feel like I take myself out of the equation of hot girl summer? And why do I take myself out of that equation a lot? And I realized it's because that implication of dating, and I have no interest in dating. You know, I know I'm not the only person. I know there's thousands of us out there that have zero interest in dating people or any of that kind of lifestyle. And you know, I think that we tend to exclude ourselves from things like hot girl summer, or feel like we are not valid in that, or we can't say that. You know, it sounds crazy, right? It's just like it's a little phrase. It's not a big deal. But I feel like we often exclude ourselves out of that conversation because of that pressure to be dating and whatnot. And I know plenty of people also who have no interest in dating, but be out here to putting themselves through the ringer to go through the dating thing. And it's kind of like, and I feel like it's that pressure, you know? And so that's another thing too, is if hot girl summer for you does not include dating, that's okay. You don't have to be out here doing all that and everything for in order for it to be a hot girl summer. You know, you can define, like you said, you can define hot girl summer on your own terms, but I feel like there's a lot of pressure to live up to this hot girl summer. And if you're not living that life that everybody else is, then you're not having a hot girl summer. I realize that because I find myself constantly doing that. People jokingly say that when I talk about my summer, I avoid using that phrase because why? I'm like, oh, I don't think I'm having a hot girl summer because I'm not dating anybody. And then I'm always like, like I say those kinds of things and I realize, girl, that has nothing to do with hot girl summer. Why do you feel that?
I'm really offended right now.
Uh-huh.
I'm so offended right now. You're not dating anyone? I thought I was taking you out on a date today. No, guys. It's a platonic date.
No, it's not. No, it's not, but all right. All right, so I guess we're both disappointed. I out here dismissed our date, but then Danny went ahead and said platonic and friend zoned me before our date. So you guys heard this here. I'll be disappointed each other.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I'm actually taking Bay out on a date today because in these last 2 years, just random tangent, in these last 2 years, I actually reached my 2-year mark since I left my ex-husband in this last
Yay,
week.
congrats.
Thank you. And Bay is not the only person that has been there for me in this last year. Absolutely not. There have definitely been other people, notable. See, oh my God, notable shout out to our bestie Adriana, who's also very much been there for me. But like me and Bay tend to hang out a little bit more because we live near each other. We're very introverted. It's convenience, but also a long time of catching up since we kind of diverted from one another. And in these last 2 years, they've really been there for me and helped me out in so many ways. And Bay took me out on a date a long time ago, and it was really sweet. And I have been waiting for the moment that I can start to show my gratitude and start to be able to pay it forward again too. And now I'm in a place where I can do that. And it's the first thing that I want to do because I had a really hard time. Y'all, divorce ain't easy. It's hard. And considering I was not married that long, I didn't have kids, didn't have really any properties per se besides my car, which is bye-bye. But it's still hard. It's still hard. And I think last week or 2 weeks ago, I finally said the words abusive relationship for the first time. And I'm saying it again because that's what it was. And I'm not saying it without fear. I'm saying it with a lot of fear, but I'm trying to not be afraid. Anywho, so I am taking them out today as a thank you for being a really great friend. And I'm excited to be able to start to pay it forward to all of those people who were there for me and who did so much for me and who had my back and who told me, don't worry about it. It's okay. You're going through a lot. And it's been a long time of going through a lot. It's been 2 years of going through a lot. And it has been a lot. Like whenever I sit and think about how much it's been, this is not what the topic was supposed to be, but talk about a tangent. It's been a lot. It's been really difficult. It's been really difficult. It's felt hopeless for like the longest time. And I finally feel hope. I finally am seeing changes. I'm on medications and I'm feeling those changes finally. And my life is changing and it's so different. I'm like a completely different person from the person I was before this pandemic. Completely different in every aspect of the way. But at the same time, also very much myself. It was more that I stripped away my mask. Anywho, that's what that is. They don't know what we're doing today yet. I got quite a few options. Depends on what time we start. I'm still playing through them in my head. Yes, I know I got a cold, but I think I need to go out. I need to like, I've been cooped up. Anywho, I wanted to divert outside of that and agree that I don't think that hot girl summer is necessarily just a like a dating thing. For me, the way that I see hot girl summer, and I have a little bit of a task for us right now
Ooh.
that we'll probably be doing through the end of this episode,
Ooh,
possibly.
okay.
The task is so for me, hot girl summer is about adventure and it's
Yeah.
about living your life to the fullest, which you should be doing, you know, year round. But more people tend to have more time. The weather is nice, so there's ability to do a bit more things because weather is not necessarily going to get in your way of doing those things. So it's
Mm-hmm.
about having like living life to the fullest. And I feel like I said, these last 2 years have been rough, and that includes this chunk of the summer. It's been a lot, and I've been focused on myself. But
Yeah.
now that I'm in a better place, I'm like, man, I haven't done shit. I've just been worried about like getting my mental health in a good place, which is great, getting a
Yeah.
job, which is great, moving things around, which I'm still doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to start enjoying life. I want to start like living, right? And
Oh.
so I want us to make like a list, like a list of things that we'd like to do before the summer is over. Not necessarily together, but
Yeah.
like just like little goals. Like, what are things that you like to do before the summer's over? Or what is something that you think about when you think of summer that maybe you haven't done just yet or you have done? So I
Mm-hmm.
got my sorry, let me turn it around. Handy notebook right here. This is the WAF notebook. And I wanted to make a list of summer things.
Okay, I really like that idea of living life to the fullest. When you said, I'm gonna grab mine too, my little notebook for us as well. Yeah, like it's, I really like that idea of like living life to the fullest and thinking of goals and what you mentioned. Now, for me, guys, for me, I know this is probably gonna out myself like this, but we can debate about hustle culture in the comments if y'all wanna have opinions. But for me, I'm bad at setting goals. I'm bad at that. I'm bad at that kind of thing. I'm somebody who is like, I can't do the goal thing. And so I know that, like, for me, it doesn't work and whatnot. Like I mentioned, we can debate. Oh, my little thing. We can debate. We can debate in the comments about how that works and whatnot. But for me, whenever you said that, I was like, right. But then you said it kind of is. It could be something small. It could be anything that we want to do,
Yeah,
and it doesn't have
and
to
it
be
doesn't necessarily need to be like a I have to do this kind of things.
exactly.
It's more of like a I would like to do this. And it
Exactly.
doesn't
Yes.
need to stay in the summer, but you know, we're in the summer. So that's why we're
Yes.
gonna this is our hot girl summer list.
I
Okay.
like that. Yes. No, and I like this, like I mentioned it, because it can be anything. And like we just talked about how defining hot girl summer on our own terms is a really good way. And also like yeah, it's a goal that it can be like a small thing. It's like or an activity that can be a small thing. And it isn't necessarily like oh, you are married to this commitment. In case you guys can't wondering what I'm circling around on is the commitment thing on my end. I've got this.
Commitment issues at their
I'm bad.
finest. I
I'm bad at commitments
where
because
I overcommit.
I hate structure and lack structure in my life. So commitment makes me think that I'm gonna be structured. Commitment feels like institutionalized to me. That's how it feels, guys.
Whereas I love organization. I'm like, I love structure. I need structure. Look at all the books I have. Anywho, okay. So
All right,
I thought it
let's
would
do
be
this
kind of
list.
fun if we
Yeah,
went back and forth, if we like tag team, like
sure.
I have a thing and you have a thing.
Yeah.
And the first thing that I have, actually, I think is something we both share.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's that I want to start skating.
Oh yes.
This has been a personal goal for us for a while now. We've been talking about wanting to like roller skate, but we have told ourselves that it's our reward for a certain. We had like a certain thing on our both of our personal lives, and that is our reward. I happen to be at that place, so I will be getting them pretty soon. But skating, getting roller skates. And I used to actually rollerblade as a kid. So I know it's not going to be too difficult for me. But the thing that I hate about it is that when I was rollerblading, the brake is in the back. And for roller skates, as y'all all know or don't know, the brake is in the front.
Mhm.
And I wonder how many times I'm gonna face plant. Okay, so if y'all see me with like nicks and bruises and stuff like that on my face, my arms, and my hands, just know that I was having fun.
I love that. Definitely, that's I definitely something that's on my list at some point. I'm not, we're at the end of that. We had mentioned the process and like the goals and whatnot. I'm not there yet, but I would love to be. Anything can happen. I could be there tomorrow, and
Yeah,
then I'm gonna get them skates.
exactly.
So
And
I
I
would
will
like
teach
that.
you when we get there.
Yes, and so like that's great. But I'm also open to roller skating in the fall. I imagine myself breezing, like skating, and then like little leaves in the trees, looking how pretty they look in the fall.
Absolutely.
But again, I'm a fall baby. So, okay, there is that. So, I'm not going to bite off of you. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use my own. So, this is an interesting one for me. I almost did it. I almost did it, guys. This is my little task. I want to get back into drawing. I did get back into painting, which makes me yay, but I have not drawn actual drawing. Like I'm gonna draw something in years. Same way of the painting. The painting extinguished years ago. And I would love to get back into drawing. Drawing and summer are very synonymous to me because during the summertime, I no longer had the pressure of school. I used to, this is so embarrassing. I used to make little comics during like, all the time. I used to draw them and make little comics and they were cringe, guys. But I had now during the summer, I had all the time in the world to do it when I was in high school. I'd like try to make them perfect. I'd bust out the ruler to draw the little panels and everything. I'd think of storylines. That's what I would do on my little quiet summer afternoons. I'd be drawing and trying to work these out and looking up drawing videos on YouTube. I would do this. I was really dedicated to this and I'd be really impatient and be like, why can't I be good already? And I just felt there was a lot of insecurity with my skills. And so eventually I let go of that, but I would love to be able to pick up a pencil and maybe even like draw a little comic and draw again. That was something that I really liked at the time. But like I first know reasons and everything I let go of, but I would love to pick it back up. That was something that, I really
You
loved. So I
absolutely should. That is a
yeah.
great one. That is a great one. And I have an easy next one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, not easy. This is one that I am very sad that I have not done yet.
Mm-hmm.
And a big reason why I have not done this yet is because your girl don't got a car, right? And so in order to do this, I would need to figure out or go with someone that has a car. And the reason I haven't done this is because I'm afraid that people will think that I'm using them for this. But it's like, actually, I don't even want to do this alone anyway. I don't think. I don't know. But like, so like if any of my friends are, which I know a bunch of you do, are watching this, and this is of interest to you, let me know because I'm too scared to ask. Or maybe I've asked. I want to go to the beach.
Hmm.
I love the beach. I love the water. This is not the seat in Oasis for no reason. I'm like trying to go to the beach all the time. And I really, really, really want to go to the beach before the summer is over. And I absolutely will when, I don't know, I have all of these really cute bathing suits for it that I have. We talked about this last time. So
Yes.
the beach is my next one. What about you? Do you got something else that feels like summer-esque that you want to do? Or I'm sorry, that you
Summer
want to do?
that I just want to do. Okay, it's like I'm trying to think of a personal goal. Oh my god, yeah, I'll go ahead and pick this one off the list. I want to another quiet activity. I want to get back into reading. God, I've been trying, guys. I've been trying to get back into reading. I don't know what the issue is with the reading. Like I mentioned maybe 2 podcasts ago about the whole I came to terms with being like neurodivergent and like probably having undiagnosed ADHD. But I came to terms with that and I realized that I think the reading thing kind of goes hand in hand. That's another thing that I stopped doing for my own enjoyment. And I don't think, like, for example, it's hard for me my attention to be focused when I'm reading something. Not like reading like, oh yeah, I can't concentrate. It's just more of I get bored quickly. I will, even if it's something of interest of me, I will get bored and try to seek a different activity. So it's really hard. I'm trying to get back into reading. I would love to be able to read horror stories because, like I mentioned, I love horror. I love horror movies, but I'm kind of over the horror movies. I want to consume my horror in a different way. So I want to like pick up like reading again and hopefully at least start a book. I would like to at least start it, not finish it obviously, but at least start a book and try to like do that, because I used to read all the time and I used to have like the best time just reading. In fact, reading was a coping mechanism for me in my childhood. Me and reading have came a long way, but I just stopped doing it for my own enjoyment because of school and work and everything. I never had time for it anymore, and now I guess I don't have the attention span for it anymore. I'm not sure what's happening, but yeah, so I want to get back into that. I want to get back into reading and start a book.
I feel you. I feel
Mhm.
you. I definitely got back into reading, but as I was like taking care of my life these last few months, like, well, I mean, for a long time, but like recently, I've kind of like slowed on my reading.
Mhm.
But my next thing on my hot girl summer list is
Mhm.
I want to have a picnic with a
Mm.
handful of friends at like a park or something, and like play games and make like a whole thing out of it. That's something that I would love to do. That one is also going to be difficult to do because I work weekends. So it would just have to, I don't know, it'd have to be really well planned out.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I want to have like a picnic with friends. I think that would
Ah,
be so much fun.
fun.
I love to host things. I don't necessarily have to be the host, but like just play games, have fun, listen to music, and exist
I
and lay in the
love
grass.
that.
I love that.
Okay. Another one. Okay. Ooh, I have an next one. Okay, so
Okay.
the one that I'm not. Okay, so I think I mentioned this back in the fall on our Instagram, but I went on a hike by myself, and I that's when I discovered that I actually don't hate hiking. I thought I did, but when I went hiking by myself, I realized, oh my goodness, I actually do like hiking. I think it's because hiking has always been a social like thing for me. I didn't like it, but I went on a hike by myself, and it was really pretty because the trees looked really pretty and it was fall time. There's a lot of crunchy leaves. The smell of the air was nice. So I liked it during the fall. I want to be able to go on a solo hike again now that it's summer to see if the experience is different. How does it feel like to hike in the summer by myself? Because, yeah, hashtag introvert things. I would love to go on a hike again. I've been wanting to go hiking again. And somewhere that's I don't know where, but I guess somewhere where I could see like, well, I saw some water last time too. That I could see some water, and I guess I want to feel what it feels like to hike in the summer, not in the heat though. I'm not about to be out here, doing those 10-mile hikes in the sun.
I
but
feel you. It's funny. That's actually, it's not the next thing I was going to list, but
Mhm.
for me, it's a new hike. I want to go on a new hike. I love
Ah.
hiking and I want to go somewhere that I haven't been yet. I don't
Mhm.
want to go alone. Because I always get scared. I'm just like a scaredy cat when it comes to like I'm worried like what if I get lost? Or like what if like I don't know what I'm doing or something. So I want to go on a new hike with like another person, maybe with like my brother. I don't know. Anywho, I want to do a new hike, but that was I'm not gonna completely bite off. The next thing that I have on here is that I would love to go to the drive-in again. We're in the
Yes.
Bay Area and there's a few drive-in movie theaters. And I love the drive-in. I love it. It's such a different experience. You're in your car and like I used to have the perfect car for this because like we would just reverse and I put the seats down. You could put a bunch of pillows in it. That's okay. One day I shall have that car again. But anywho, I'd love to go to the drive-in again. It's been such a long time. I miss it very much. Got to go with a reliable car that's not going to need a jump start afterwards, though, because that's the thing with drive-ins. It's like, yeah, it's like risking having to get like your car jump started again, but it's just so much fun. It's so much fun. So I want to go to the drive-in again. That's my next one.
I love that. That is very summery. I remember the summer when I was like 18, 19. That was something that we often did with the friend group that I had. We often went to the drive-in. So that also was for a little bit synonymous with summer. Okay, my other one is okay. So continue with my cooking, learning how to cook journey. I did not know how to cook out of societal resistance. But now I need to know how to, keep myself alive, which I do know how to keep myself alive. I do know that,
Keep
but
yourself
I
alive.
want to, I
Keep
want to know,
yourself
I want to
alive.
like know how to cook and make something good, like, or that I would actually eat. A lot of cooking things, at least when I've tried to do the cooking thing, I've cooked things that I thought other people want to eat, and I realized nah, fam, because you wouldn't eat this. So cook things that you want to eat, right? And so I've learned to put myself at the center of this, center of that journey. So yes, I want to continue with learning how to cook and do all that because I know how to make a couple of things now, and I'm not afraid. Well, I am afraid to burn myself, but not as much as I was before. So yeah, and I have definitely an interest in it, a little more of an interest now because a couple of weeks back I was in LA with my family, and they made a lot of like typical Salvadoran dishes. And I remember that I asked, I like that was the first time I think I'd ever ate food. And like I was eating and I looked inside and I was like, what's inside of this? I've never questioned what's inside. I just like it tastes good, I'm gonna eat it. But I opened it and I was like, what's inside? And I was like, that's potato. And this, we were eating pastelitos for those who are Salvadoran. So I was like, that's potato with this. And I even asked my mom, I was like, how do they get the potato like this? I generally had these questions. And so I think that now that I have an interest in it, it'd be great to run with that interest, considering before I tried to get into it, I don't know, societal pressure. I don't know why I wanted to get into cooking before, but now that there's an interest, I want to run with it and keep going and learn how to make something new or make more things. Yeah.
And that's a fun one too. It's not on my list per se
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know, it's something that I do already, but that's something I'm doing with you. I'm like teaching you how to cook. This week we were
Yeah.
supposed to make I was supposed to teach them how to make pesto from scratch, which I
Uh-huh.
have a really, really great recipe. And but I, as y'all know, I had a cold, so I did not get to do that. And that's okay. Another thing that I don't necessarily have on my list, and actually that you bring that up, I'm like, I need to bake more, which I have been doing. I have been baking more. I want to get more into, and that's not necessarily like it's a hot girl summer list thing for me. It's just like a
Mm-hmm.
general thing. Um, but something that I have on my personal list that involves you. Um, hold your excitement because I
Okay.
don't think you're gonna be that crazy about it. But my personal hot girl summer list is that I want to teach Bay how to swim.
Oh, you made it seem like you're gonna make me do something else. I
Well,
was gonna be
because you
like,
don't want to, like you're scared.
I'm scared of like I
They
did
don't
take swim
think that they
classes.
are able to.
Yes, I took some classes way a couple of summers ago, a long time ago, and I didn't learn because I was like really scared. And so I was just like, oh, I'm scared. And see, the thing is with swimming is that, again, what makes me think that I won't be able to do it is that swimming is it's very contingent on you not being scared. And that's what I didn't learn in my swim class. I learned the technique. I know what you're supposed to do, this, you do the other thing, you do this with your feet. I know the components of it. It's just getting myself to do it is what the issue was. I did get a passing grade because I was there every single day. I was out here under the sun every single day, to the point where like the chlorine affected my skin and everything. I was there every single day. But I definitely did not learn because I realized it's a mental blockade and not a physical blockade. But again, I'm not opposed to that. I mean, I took a whole swim class and that was really scary. I didn't know anybody in the swim class. So if I
Mhm,
drowned, who was I to anybody? They were gonna be like, we don't know that girl. We're not gonna save her. And
mhm.
so, yeah, with this one, if I can't drown with you because you know me, you're not gonna let me die. So if I can
Absolutely
do it
not.
then, I can do it now. So yeah, you made it sound like you're gonna make me try something else. I was like, oh goodness, this is the point where on the list where you're gonna say something like, I'm gonna make you eat something that you don't like or whatever. And I was like, oh man,
Actually, it's
that's
funny. It's funny that you mentioned that. My mom was saying that she
Mhm.
tangent and wrap up, but the tangent is that my mom was mentioning yesterday that she was at this local Latino ethnic store called Las Montañas, and that she noticed that they sell chapulines. If you don't know what chapulines are, they are grasshoppers, and in Mexico, they people eat them.
Mhm.
My mom's eaten them before, and she said she wanted to buy some to eat some. And I've always been like, ugh, mom, that's like so gross. But I have this thing where I am trying to get over all of my fears. I don't want to be someone who's afraid of things. You know, one
Mhm.
day when I mean, it's normal to be afraid of things,
Mhm.
you know, but it's just like a personal goal for myself because I feel like fear tends to hold me back a lot. And it's
Mhm.
not something that I want to project to my kids one day if I have a family. So
Mhm.
I said to my mom, I was like, okay, I'll eat them with you. And she was like, like shocked. I was like, I don't know that I'm going to like them. I'm just doing them because I think that I should. And she goes, they are the food of the future. She like starts preaching about all this stuff. And I was like, I know that's another reason. And I told her, I think that's closer to my future than it is to your future. Not necessarily that it'll even be in my future, but I think that I should try it. Right. And so I'm gonna eat some chapulines at some point, and I'm not like that happy about it, but like I don't want to be grossed out by things, so I don't promise that I won't puke, but I'm gonna
Ew.
try to not think about it so much. But I should also savor the flavor. But what if I don't like the texture? I don't know. This was a tangent, but that is
Our Lord
essentially
and Savior chapulines.
that is essentially a wrap up to my list. Was there anything that you wanted to add to, or are you?
I think that was pretty much it. A wrap up to my list as well. Honestly, like this is a good idea to kind of get some things going. Like I mentioned, for me, summer doesn't really change much for me, but it's good to see have like a couple of ideas of what I could do or what I guess not should be doing. Again, don't like to impose things on myself.
To try when
So
you're
things to try.
full, to switch
Yes, things to
up.
try, things to look forward to. Things to look forward to, like the cooking thing, or like the solo hike that I have to do. And that is a
That you
have to.
want to do.
I know I have to do the solo hike because I need to experience it in the summer. It's only a moment in time that I can experience it, because like, I can't, if I hike in the fall, I did that already. I want to hike in the summer by myself, and I want to see and think and process it and feel what it feels like to hike in the summer because by myself, because for me it's always been a social thing, so my brain has not retained any of it. But yes, guys, that essentially is the wrap on my list. I did want to share something with you guys really quickly, which is the world's tiniest, cutest eraser.
That is adorable.
It's
So
a
for those
little.
of you who are listening, it looks like a cake with frosting, if I'm not mistaken, in the forms of little hearts with
Oh, they're little
juice.
strawberries.
No. The white part, the frosting, they're little
Oh,
hearts.
yeah, I guess I didn't
And
realize that.
there's strawberries on the top. It's really cute.
This is my new stim object. In case, for y'all who watch the podcast and see me play with the pen now has a friend. It is now a little eraser that I'm going to be tossing in my hands off screen. So yes, I wanted to introduce the new stim object.
Very
And
nice.
there we
Very
have
nice.
it.
So I hope you guys have a hot girl summer, hot person summer, a hot summer, not too hot. Put on that sunscreen, that SPF. Make sure that you stay hydrated, because heat wave headaches are not it. Someone who has migraines, that's the only thing I hate about the heat. Have fun, live your life to the fullest, however that means to you. Your body is beautiful. It does not need to look different. You are beautiful as you are. Look in the mirror and embrace yourself, and tell your body, apologize to your body for hating it when you are ready, of course, obviously. Like I do that all the time. I apologize to my body for hating it, and I'm like, I'm sorry that I'm always hating on you, and you're just trying to take care of me, because our bodies really are just trying to take care of us, and they're doing the best that they can. They deserve a little bit of love, and you deserve a little bit of love.
Yes, I love that. And speaking of love, my love language is chai. How are we doing on the chais? I just chugged mine right now.
Well,
Oh yes,
we
the
are not.
Theraflu.
Yes, the Theraflu. The Theraflu is done.
All right, the chai is done on my end as well. All right then, guys. So the chais and the Theraflus are done. I know y'all came for the chais and the Theraflu and stayed for the chisme. We hope you guys catch us on the next episode of our Chais and Chisme, parentheses Theraflu. But yes, guys, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, share, comment, do all that good stuff. Fight with me in the comments, like I mentioned earlier. So yeah, go ahead and do that.
Yes, and then make sure to check out all of the links below. We have our Instagram linked, we have our TikTok linked, all of that good stuff. We are now posting on TikTok. These podcasts are coming out every other week. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day and a wonderful summer. Summer? See, again, there I go again. Summer. A wonderful summer. All right. Ciao.
Salud. Bye.
Bye.